Good morning. Welcome to ONNtv Mornings with Luann and Tim. Tim, how are you this morning?
I couldn't find my car in my driveway. It was so foggy.
A little misty, huh?
Holy smokes.
A little heavy out there.
It was like pea soup.
It was. Very.
But it's supposed to lift and be nice for the afternoon. I see sunny and 20-ish, 25, mid-20s. Yeah.
I wonder if we're done with the outrageously humid 30 plus.
Probably. Because it's our...
I hope so.
I hope so. Well, that was...
Yeah, that was a bit...
Muggy.
But
it's been really comfortable. The evenings now are cool right off. I have to wear like a hoodie outside now.
Do you?
Yeah. You know, what time do you go to bed before the sun goes down, I think?
No, I go to bed around 9:30.
You ever go outside in the evening?
Yeah. Did last night, as a matter of fact, because I had girls' night.
Did you just have a shorts and a t-shirt? I guess last night. Really? No, I had to put a hoodie on.
Well, the sun was still up, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't go in the dark because I have to go to bed.
I don't go in the dark.
I don't go in the darkness. I don't go outside in the darkness.
You had the girls over?
No, we went to, the Indian restaurant on Queen Street, Tandoori.
Tandoori Gardens.
My goodness, it's delish.
Is it?
Yes, we were going to go to Ernie's.
Well, wait a minute. Tandoori, isn't that we had her on the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Whatever her
Butter
name is.
chicken? Mwah. We were going to go to Ernie's, closed. Has been for 2 weeks. I don't know. Ernie?
No, but
what?
He's selling.
Is he?
You didn't know that?
No.
He's retiring and selling the business.
Nobody, his family's not going to just
It's on the market. You can have it for, it's like, I forget how much. Yeah, your whole
How
thing.
would you ever live up to Ernie, though?
You'd have to hire his staff back.
You'd have to hire him.
Did he do all the cooking?
I know that at some points his son did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just have to adopt his son.
So it's up for sale, and that's why it's closed.
I assume I know it's up for sale. There was a big thing about Ernie retiring and selling his business.
Man, I so missed that.
But I didn't know that they were closed waiting for the sale to happen. I thought they were staying open and then going to sell. So
I was looking for a big chunk of meatloaf. You know? Yeah.
And there's no more Mary's.
No, Mary's.
See all those? And there's no more Mike's Lunch?
Nope.
Is there still one location of Mike's Lunch?
Maybe on Gore.
I know, yeah.
There used to be.
But those are all the places you would get those meatloaf, homemade meatloaf. Who sells that now? Where do you get a homemade meatloaf nowadays?
I don't know. My house.
Your house?
Yeah.
Would you stay home and cook once in a while instead of going out all the time?
No. I'll order it from my neighbor.
It's bugging me that I can't remember her name. The lady who owns Tandoori Gardens.
It was so awesome. It was very, very good.
I'm going to go back on my interviews and look and find out what her name is.
It's lovely.
Okay.
Yes, it was very, very lovely. I was on Twitter this morning.
Okay.
You know what? I have to commend Serena Williams.
Okay.
Because she's a little bit of an underachiever. She's really picked herself up, you know? But she was 8 months after having a baby and started playing tennis professionally again and did really, really well, and then kind of not so much. But she now is on Vogue magazine, and she's talking about her postpartum slump is what she's calling it. And she says, you know what? All moms out there know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're Serena Williams or if you're Luann Young or if you're Josephine.
Who's Josephine?
I don't know. If you have postpartum depression,
Josephine
it's a normal
with postpartum depression. You know her.
Yeah, JoJo. And so it's good to talk about it, and it's lovely to see someone of her stature.
Absolutely. Anytime you lift the veil of shame, there should be no shame.
That's right. And her hair is she's on the cover, and her hair's got to be that big.
Gorgeous, right?
Oh my word.
Yeah.
She looks like she could squash a dinosaur. She does. She looks like she could go patank
and she's got it all.
Yes.
You know, but she's healthy, she's wealthy, she's wise, and yet still doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Postpartum depression, mental health.
You know the little depression bugs? They don't care what you do, who you are, how much money you make.
No, they do not.
They just come in.
Yeah.
Say hello.
This is National Book Day.
Oh!
I think it is. I saw that on that calendar thing, National Book Day. You know what's kind of interesting is one of the interviews today is with the Silverleaf Writers Guild based in Timmins, and they're putting on this huge book fair this weekend. This weekend is we got the Fringe. They're all working together.
Right.
Fringe, Up the Arts, and the book fair. So the book fair is at Roberta Bonder Pavilion. So I interview her from a Skyped interview from Timmins.
Awesome.
With her talking about all the local authors that are going to be at this book fair. Luann, you can't believe how many local authors we have from Sault Ste. Marie, Elliott Lake, St. Joe's Island, Richards Landing. These people, like, I had no idea we had this many authors in our area, and they're going to be featured at this book fair. So happy National Book Day, and enjoy the interview with, her name was, oh, you'll see. I can't, oh gosh, I'm so bad this morning. I'm foggy.
He's foggy in his
Her
head.
name was Jessica.
Josephine.
No.
I think it was Josephine. Jojo.
No, it's not Jojo. It's JJ.
Okay, JJ.
Jessica.
Jojo, JJ.
And last
So
name
Twitter
starts with G.
helps because now you know that it's National Book Day. You know what else I saw on Twitter
I didn't
this
find
morning?
that on Twitter.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but Twitter does help anyway.
It does. Rob Ford, okay with the buck of beer now. Okay. There's nothing else going on in the province that you need to address? And where's the 10 cents less on the gas? Where is that? Especially as we coming out of the long weekend. He's all over Twitter this morning talking about, yeah, we're so awesome, we're going to buck of beer. Well, you know what? There's no financial incentives for any of the brewers to do it. They're just going to get nice placement in the
store.
LCBO store.
And they get special place. They get ads in the flyers and stuff.
Right.
So they get in kind.
Yeah, they get in kind, but it's really still not worth it.
No.
A lot of them are saying. But there's this brewery in Ottawa.
Okay. Are they
called Dominion City Brewery, and they are actually selling beer, and it's a can of beer, and it's called Buck of Beer, and all the donations are going towards refugees.
Oh my gosh.
So there, Mr. Ford. Just saying. You and your buck of beer.
Does that mean we get less taxes off those beers?
Less taxes?
I mean, when there's liquor
No,
tax.
the beer's a buck, but then
know.
there's 14.5%.
No, what I'm saying is if you're reducing the cost of the beer, does that not also then reduce the revenue that the province is making off the sale of that beer?
Absolutely.
Well, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? When you've got like Keith waiting for 4.5 hours to get seen in emergency in Sudbury because there's 75 people in the waiting room and 8 in a triage area that waited to get in.
But there he is. Buck of beer!
And he's reducing the amount of taxes we're making on the sale of beer.
Yeah, it's
That
kind
needs to go backwards from what I think you should be doing.
You know what? Take the money from beer sales, put it into hospital care.
But then wait a second though, did you also know that the Liberal government we had buck of beer before, the Liberal government kind of silently...
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Like 19...
No, it was 2000 and something.
2008.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
So they kind of snuck it in, and he's taking it back down again.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But do you remember buck of beer?
No.
Like, so...
I don't,
right?
No.
So I don't know, like, obviously it wasn't that big of a hit, because I don't remember. It was only 10 years ago. I don't remember
All
buck
I
of
know
beer.
is, don't we have like a $300 billion deficit in this province?
Seriously.
Shouldn't we be like not taking taxes away and
he's all about the beer thing. Like, seriously.
Well, have you seen his stomach?
Yeah, there's a couple beers in there.
I think he likes his beer a little
I think
bit.
so. I think so.
Among other things.
Yes. So who else is coming on the show?
I'm just saying. I was back in high school, never mind.
Oh.
Who else is coming on the show?
Yes, we have Pets of the Week. Oh, no. I keep thinking it's Friday.
You're not going to even be here.
Maybe they'll bring a big, huge effluent.
You're not going to be here.
No.
Luann goes on holidays for 10 days tomorrow.
Yay.
Riley Smith is going to be sitting right there tomorrow.
She's a sweetie.
She's in for it now.
Oh, yeah, I told her.
She has no idea what.
I said, put on your thick skin, hon, because, this one.
No. So I'll be nice to her. I like her. What was I saying?
She's cute.
Oh, so
who cares?
No, it's not.
So
this
anyway,
is Thursday.
Yes,
You're foggy too.
I am foggy town. Don't sing. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Ryan McFarling is coming on the show for crying out loud, Luann. Keep me on track. That's your job.
I only have
Ryan McFarling is a local magician. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think he calls himself. He's an illusion. He's a mentalist.
Woo!
Not like you. You're just mental. He's a mentalist.
Won't be a long interview with this one if it's a mentalist.
So, he's doing a Fringe show.
Oh, good.
And I should know the name of it.
Yes, you should.
I don't know anything today, so you're going to have to stay and find out who Jessica Trudel. It's coming a little bit, and Marwheat, no.
Oh, look, he's all impressed
It's
with
all
himself.
coming back
He's
now,
actually
making up. Anyway,
remembering.
Ryan McFarling is coming on the show live, but first of all, we have an interview with Jessica Trudel from Timmins regarding the Silverleaf Writers Guild and the book fair coming up this weekend. I'll be fine by tomorrow.
Right.
We'll see you. Stay tuned. There's lots more coming up on, what's the show?
ONNtv Mornings with Luann and Tim.
What she said. We'll be right back. I am Skyping today with Jessica Trudel from Silverleaf Writers Guild. She's based in Timmins, Ontario, and there's a book fair coming up in combination with so much going on, the Fringe North as well as Up the Arts through the Arts Council. So good morning, Jessica. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. How are things up in Timmins this time of the year?
Oh my goodness, we're having such a heat wave. It's been amazing, but also, dangerous with all the forest fires.
Oh, I know it's still 44, I think, burning in just northeastern Ontario alone. So, yes, not a great summer for fires, but it sure has been lovely for tourism.
Yes.
Now, do you still do that great big summer music festival up there in Timmins?
Stars of Thunder?
Yes.
Yes, it's happened 2 years running now.
And did you tie in with that the first year you had your book fair up in Timmins for the Silverleaf Writers Guild?
We did. We piggybacked off of the first Stars of Thunder festival.
And how was the turnout for your first year?
It was pretty good. The festival, it was huge, and our booth was pretty small because it was our first year out. We represented maybe about a dozen authors, mostly from the Timmins area, although we did have a couple come out from St. Marie.
Yes.
And it was pretty good turnout. We were on the side where all of the free events were happening. So a lot of parents were bringing their kids for the inflatables and face painting and all of that. So it was pretty good traffic, and there was probably about 10 other booths there with different merchandise. So it was a good time.
Well done. Now, Silverleaf Writers Guild. Is this a relatively new venture for you, Jessica?
Yes, it's only been running since late 2015. It's just over 2 years, 2.5 years now.
And you're the regional director, but also the founder, yes?
Yeah, I founded it. It kind of got founded by accident, really. What happened was that I'm a writer, and I was teaching a lot of marketing and communications workshops through the local chamber and Timmins Economic Development Corporation. But my first love was always fiction and creative nonfiction. And I felt like I wasn't reaching those writers and to be able to help them the way I wanted to. So I started a weekly workshop series. It was, I think, Workshop Wednesday or something, Writers Workshop Wednesday. And so these local writers started to come out for these workshops. And then I did those from May until October. And then National Novel Writing Month came around in November. So I decided to organize events for that, which got even more writers out. And when that was over, I just sat down with all the writers that had been coming out to the workshops and National Novel Writing Month, and I said, hey, do you guys want to formalize this? Do you want to make a guild? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And so the Timmins Writers Guild was born. And then a year later, we decided to expand our services to other areas of Northern Ontario to reach those writers that are in remote communities that don't have the support systems in place. So we changed our name to Silverleaf Writers Guild to be more inclusive.
Oh, that's okay. That is, first of all, the fact that you. Let me go back to your background. What's your educational background? How did you get into writing in the first place, Jessica?
I wanted to be a writer since I was a little kid. I was writing stories, and my favorite thing was like writing essays in school, which everybody else hated. But I've always been a writer, and it was always something that I wanted to do on the side because in my mind, being a successful writer was like being a rock star. You had to be a best-selling author if you were going to write full time.
Right.
But then I realized after I went to college for business, and I really still wanted to study English, so I went to university as an English major. And then that's when I realized, why can't I put my business education and my English education together? And I started a communications business.
Aren't you clever? Excellent, nice. That's cross-sector development. You see that? The artist side of you and the business side of you came together, and here you are. Now, so then, as from teaching to bringing the writers together in a guild, I would imagine the fact that you're doing this in more rural and remote communities in Northern Ontario, I would imagine that a lot of people are actually writing in silos, that, you know, because there's not anything that really connects everybody, people really have had to turn to their own communities to find like-minded people, or to I know my sister is an author here in Sault Ste. Marie as well, Mary Lynn Murphy. She's published, she has a novel called Finding Grace, and actually there's going to be an event here as part of Fringe North as well, the Writer's Den, and Mary Lynn will be reading from her book on the 18th of August. There's a little plug for that. Anyway, she had to go through her book club, and that's where she found people to read her what would you call them, transcripts, I guess, her works in progress. And but she had definitely had to reach out within the community to find people that she could rely upon to help her. And then, so I guess you did a similar thing in Timmins. But now you've reached out beyond the community. So you're connecting with people all over Northern Ontario, right?
Yeah.
And so when you decided to have the second annual, you say you were amazed with the response you received. For only your second annual festival, you had dozens of people applying. Is that true?
Yes, yeah. It was an amazing response, and a lot of that we have to attribute to people like yourselves, the media, who in Sault Ste. Marie especially, the media really picked up on the story and started spreading the word, and that's what got that huge response. As soon as the Sault started putting out the media release, then the Sudbury media picked it up, and that's why it really exploded, was thanks to the media.
Well, I frankly am blown away by the number of local authors that we have. I don't proclaim to know a lot about authors and books and poetry and stuff, but I really am amazed at the number, first of all, that you're featuring, and second, that you're also the shortlisted ones who are going to be there as well. We have to take a quick commercial, Jessica. When we come back, we're going to focus on exactly who's going to be represented at the book fair, which is coming up. What are the dates for this? It's the
August 10th to 12th.
10th, 11th, and 12th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Roberta Bondar Pavilion, yes?
That's right.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, Jessica, and when we come back from commercial, we'll talk about who's going to be represented there and about the dates and times of the event and all that sort of stuff. So stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim will come right back with Jessica Trudel from the Silverleaf Writers Guild, Skyping with us from Timmins this morning. Stay tuned. We are back, and I am once again talking with Jessica Trudel from Timmins, Ontario. She's Skyping with us. Jessica is the founder and the regional director of the Silverleaf Writers Guild, and there is a fantastic book fair going on this weekend. It's a wonderful weekend in Sault Ste. Marie to be out and about, especially if you enjoy the arts, with the Fringe Festival and with Up the Arts and the Arts Council of Sault Ste. Marie getting involved. The book fair is being held Friday the 10th, Saturday the 11th, and Sunday the 12th at the Roberta Bondar Pavilion. What hours of the day will you be there, Jessica?
10 to 6.
10 to 6 each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's right.
And now, to find out information, if there's a particular author that someone wants to meet, there is a breakdown. I believe it's on the Fringe Festival page is where I found the information. But do you have your own website if people want to look that up, Jessica?
Yes, silverleafwriters.com. We have the schedule there as well.
Okay, excellent. So let's just talk through this then. One of the local authors, Jennifer Barone, has written a children's book. It's called, which one is that? The Goose on a Roof.
Yes.
Now, are you familiar with this book at all?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I know it's about a goose named Henry, and he's being bullied by the other geese on the farm. I can only imagine that he flies up to the roof to be alone, but I don't know yet. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I look forward to it.
I do too. The pictures look great. I actually did a little Googling on it. We're going to bring it. We'll have an image that we can put up of the all of these books as we talk about them. We can bring up the covers. Now, she is an early childhood educator herself, and once again, a local Sault Ste. Marie author. Jennifer Barone, and she wants to encourage children to believe in their dreams and pursue their goals with this book. So it sounds fantastic. Now you can go and meet Jessica in person. You can see the book and talk to her and find out about her experience about writing it. That's the idea, right, Jessica, to actually meet the authors?
That's right. The 9 featured authors are the ones that'll be there in person during the scheduled time. So we're going to have books by dozens of other authors there.
Will they be doing any readings at all, these authors, or is this more of a meet and greet kind of thing where you get a chance to go down and find out about who they are?
At our booth, it's more of a meet and greet, but there are readings happening around the festival grounds.
Okay.
Our specific area is more of a meet and greet, chance to sign, take pictures, talk to the authors, find out more about the background and what inspires them to write the book.
And also, I guess, to find out about other things that they have in the works or that they've previously written.
Exactly, that's right.
Nevin Bakonjic, now that would be a name a lot of folks in Sault Ste. Marie would know because of Nevin's work as an entrepreneur. He's the founder of Startup Sault Ste. Marie, and once again, here I am. I've known Nevin socially. I know his brother, Neil, but I did not know that Nevin has 2 books that he's published.
Yeah, I believe he's launching the second one at the book fair.
So 25 money-making businesses you can start in your spare time, which is a great thing to do now in Sault Ste. Marie because it's the only way to get work these days is to create your own. And the other one is Starting Your Own Business, an Entrepreneur's Guide. Now, once again, Nevin is living in Sault Ste. Marie, and he'll be down there in person with those books. Have you met Nevin ever?
I haven't met him in person, no. A lot of these authors, all except for one, I've never actually met in person.
You're nice, super nice guy. Yeah, you're going to enjoy meeting Nevin, and he's, I'll tell you, smart as a whip, that one. Now, I don't know J.M. Clemenson, but I'll tell you, she's a Batchewana First Nation, and she's an author of fantasy and fiction series. Now, she's got 2 books also. And I learned a word today, Jessica. I didn't know what interstice, is it interstice or interstice? I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's the name of one of her books. Do you know how to say it?
I think it's interstice, but I'm not 100% sure.
And it means a small space, something that bridges a small space, a small gap, like the light filtered through the leaves, creating, or like an interstice. I don't know. Anyway, I just learned that word. So thanks to J.M. Clemenson. What's that?
I love her book titles. They sound like fantasy books.
And the other one, Ecliptic. Ooh.
Ecliptic, yeah.
I know. And she's her inspiration is based largely on her native ancestry and her life so far. So very cool. Darren Emon. Now this guy is visual, literary, and performance artist in the Sault. Another Sault Ste. Marie author. Did not know.
He can tie in with the Fringe Festival because of his theater background.
Absolutely. And he not only writes, but he also illustrates. He's got several books under his belt, including Iron Maiden. And I love the name of the one he's working on now. It's called The Fantabulous Tales of the Frivolous Fox. Good for him. It's going to be released in paperback in summer of 2018. So we'll learn more about that when you talk to Darren Emon down there at the tent. Now, somebody you know personally, J.L. Fizel, Jessica Fizel. Tell us how you know Jessica.
She's part of our Writers Guild here in Timmins.
And so you're familiar with her works?
Yes, she's read them in our group, and she sells the books on Amazon and maybe other places. But
Icarus Anchors in You and Pears and Swine by J.L. Fizel. And I know Jessica because she was actually a placement student when I was working at Algoma Public Health. We worked on youth engagement theater together. She is delightful, she's charming, she's intelligent, and I can imagine that her poetry is an expression of her wit and her charm and her, but she actually talks themes of love, hardship, courage, and mental health. Good for her. I'm going to come down there just to see her because it's been a couple of years. Someone who's getting a lot of publicity. Emma Hogg, Emma L.R. Hogg. She's winning awards, isn't she?
Well, she was nominated for the Whistler Award. I can't remember off the top of my head if she had won. I know she was nominated twice. I can't remember if she won.
Oh, okay. Nominations, and 6 fiction novels already. And again, a Sault Ste. Marie native. I feel like such so ignorant that I didn't know all this stuff. Her most recent novel is Winona Rising, as opposed to Winona Ryder, and and then she once again living in Sault Ste. Marie, working on her next novel. So 6 novels under her belt from Sault Ste. Marie.
Very prolific writer.
Patricia C. Lee, now she's Elliott Lake is where she's residing now, and she wrote a play that was staged at Quanta.
Right. She has a theater background as well.
Another one that ties in well, and she is also the author of a trilogy, the Daughters of the Crescent Moon trilogy. It's paranormal romance series.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so sci-fi falls in love, I guess. Tom Mills. Who doesn't know Tom Mills in Sault Ste. Marie? He was a columnist for the Sault Star for years. Funny man.
Tom.
Now, do you know Tom?
It's only, again, from talking to him, not in person.
He just recently retired. He was an editorial career that spanned Niagara Falls to Winnipeg. He lives in Awares Township, and he has a couple of books under his belt as well. And he'll be there with what's the one? Sex is a 4-letter word and other misconceptions, or something like that. It sounds like an interesting book from Tom Mills. And then finally, Kristen Reggett. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Do you know?
Kirsten, I think.
Kirsten Reggett.
Yeah.
Richards Landing, of all places she grew up in, Little Richards Landing. She's lived in many communities over the years. And her book has a beautiful title, Before I Let You Go, Stories from My Grown Son. Have you heard anything about this book at all?
I haven't had a chance to read. I did read the introduction. I believe she has an introduction on her website, but I haven't had a chance to read the entire book yet.
And we're happy to be welcoming her back because she's now living in Calgary, Alberta, but she's going to be back in our neck of the woods for the book fair.
Yeah.
Now, other authors, how many others? You got shortlisted authors too. Like, how many more people are involved in this thing?
How many other people?
Yeah.
Other authors?
Yeah, at the fair.
Well, we have about 70 different books that are going to be for sale, about 800 in inventory overall, and it represents about almost 30 authors, I'd say.
Oh, holy smokes! No wonder you need 3 full days to get through this fair. Well, I look forward to meeting you. I'll be down to see you and to see some of these friends of mine that have books that I didn't even know about, and to say I'm sorry for being so ignorant. But I'm glad we have the chance to promote it here, so we'll see you, Jessica, at the book fair 10th, 11th, and 12th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Roberta Bondar Pavilion, and the times again are from 10 to 6, and 10th, 11th, and 12th. All right. Thank you so much for joining us from Timmins, Ontario via Skype. Jessica Trudel, who is once again the founder and regional director of the Silverleaf Writers Guild. I wish you every success with your 2nd annual book fair, and I can't wait to find out where in Northern Ontario the 3rd annual will be, and I'll make sure that my sister Mary Lynn gets herself over there and gets her book on that list as well.
Bring lots of money to buy some books.
Okay. Thanks again for your time, and we'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this. Okay, the fog has lifted.
He's going to fix his mistakes.
I've got so many mistakes that I made this morning talking about stuff. First of all, the name of the guest that I could not remember was Nita Marwa. Nita Marwa was on talking about the Bollywood party and the cricket club. Okay, so Nita owns Rasoi, which is the restaurant that occupies the old Mike's Lunch. That is not Tandoori
So that's the white building with the red.
Across from Stone's Office Supply.
Right.
That's Nita Marwa, and that is.
That's not where I ate.
And that's Punjabi food.
Ah.
The only Punjabi restaurant in Sault Ste. Marie, to my knowledge. Now, you ate at Tandoori Gardens, which amazing butter chicken. I've never had anybody from Tandoori Garden on the show. If they would like to come on the show and tell me about Tandoori Garden and bring me some butter chicken, that would be lovely. They are located in the old Mary's Lunch, which is down like closer to Top Hat. And, okay.
Just down from Muyo's.
I just want to make that clear that I know. Okay. And also, the other day I talked about The Writer's Den being a thing with
You're gonna be long or what?
Part of the Fringe. I call it the Writer's Den. The Writer's Den is a thing with Wendy Hamilton, and it's 3 new works being read. It's a Fringe show. I was talking about the authors' readings, which is a different thing. So, but it's all book day.
It's all book day related.
Don't listen to me. Just go to the website for Fringe North International Theatre Festival, and you'll see all that stuff there, and that'll correct everything I've ever said wrong in my life.
No, it won't.
Your turn.
No, it won't really.
Tell us
we
about
have
the
this
TV.
awesome giveaway because we, Superior Media on TV, is going to be at a street party tonight.
It's a street party tonight.
Tonight.
We had Josh Ingram on. He told us all about it. It's going to be a great one.
Yes.
And the weather's going to be beautiful.
Awesome evening for you. And we're going to have a table set up. So please go and ask some questions if you're having a difficult time trying to find us, that sort of thing. We're going to have staff on there.
Our staff is going to be there with the Geek Squad.
Yes.
From Best Buy.
That's so appropriate.
The
Geek Squad.
So they are going to be there to answer questions about Roku and about all the stuff and how you can
And we're
find
going
us.
live online at 7:30.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you drop by, there's an opportunity to win.
This beautiful courtesy of the Geek Squad and Best Buy. It is, let me see here, it is a 32-inch, brand new 32-inch Samsung, this says here 32 foot. It's a 32-inch, it's huge, it's as big as my house. 32-inch Samsung HD TV, and you also get the Roku streaming stick. Donated by Best Buy.
That's
It's
awesome.
a draw, so you can stop by tonight to our ONNtv table, the Superior Media table.
On Queen Street.
Fill out a ballot, find out more about Luann and I and all the other programming here on ONNtv, and enter to win.
And you have some great guests coming up.
Ryan McFarling, The Placebo Effect is the show.
Ooh.
That's another mistake I made. I couldn't remember the name of his show.
Oh,
it
boy,
says
thank
that
God he
I
makes mistakes. We'd have nothing else to talk about, would we then?
It says that I directed his show, but I didn't really. We met a couple times, and then I got busy, and he got busy, and I didn't really help beyond that. But I'm very proud to be affiliated with Ryan because he's an amazing talent. So I'm going to have him on the show next in our live interview, and he's going to do some magic again. This is like Magic Week on
Yeah,
the
it
show.
is. It's great. So stay with us on TV Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back.
Cheers. Ryan McFarling in the house. How are you, Ryan?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to ONNtv.
Thank you for having me.
This is your first time here in the studio with us.
First time.
Not our first time together, though.
No, we've been.
You and I have tag teamed a lot of shows. You've been my opening act. I've been your opening act.
We've just shown up for other people,
We've
like the whole bit. Yeah, just kind of hanging around.
We've also worked together in restaurants in the past.
Yeah,
I've known
bartended way back in the
Known
day.
you for a long time, and as long as I've known you, you have been doing magic.
Yeah, since I was probably 6 or 7 years old. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You were just like a little Ryan McFarling.
Yeah, I was just a smaller. Same little bit of irritating when I'm doing that, but the same. It's all good. Yeah.
Tell me what spurred it for you? What made you go, oh, I want to try to do that? Something you saw? What?
It was a kind of a combination of that. It was like the Paul Daniels Magic Show was something that was always fascinating to me when I was a kid. The more.
Where did you see that show, Paul Daniels Magic Show?
It was on. I think it was BBC. It was.
Oh, you know what? That guy that I had on the earlier.
Oh, John Pert.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, John Pert.
Thanks for paying attention to my guests, Ryan. John Pert also like that same guy. He watched that BBC guy too.
Yeah, and John's very good. John is very good.
Did you know him? Were you familiar with him?
I was vaguely familiar, and after I saw your segment with him, I went and I checked out a lot of his stuff, and it's he's very good.
Cool.
He's very good.
I'm glad that you approve of my guests. So you watched the guy from BBC, and then what?
Well, it was an interesting thing because I always found something fascinating about that, but I mean, as a kid, you don't think of it that way. You just think of it was something that was interesting to you because it was magic. But I also have an older brother who encouraged me to do these type of things, mainly because he's 4 years older than me, and at 6 years old and he's 10, you want to hang out with your older brother, but he doesn't want to hang out with you, right? So what he did instead was he would keep me occupied by just hand me a book and learn this or do this or whatever.
To get you out of his hair?
Pretty much.
To make you disappear.
Yeah.
He wanted you to learn magic so you would disappear.
There you go. And so what we ended up doing was he handed me I think it was Magic Tricks and Techniques or a book, something like that. And he said, why don't you learn this? And it'll give you like essentially something to do, right? So he's involved but not involved. And he was doing it like any 10-year-old would understand, and just said, here, we'll kind of toss this thing at me. And I started picking it up, and I was interested, and I started learning these different things. So when I finally picked up enough of the different tricks, and I walked back to him, I said, hey, Matt, what do you think of this? And he stopped, and all of a sudden he started calling his friends over to watch it and saying, see what my brother can do. That was something that was totally different.
That must have felt so cool for you as a 6-year, like as a kid, impressing your big brother that you looked up to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
and all of his buddies that you wanted to hang around with now thought you were cool because you could do these things.
Yeah, I still didn't get to hang out with them, but I was had to show them some tricks, right? It was a lot of fun doing those type of. I guess at that time you need that little bit of encouragement where it can sound. I mean, it wasn't nearly as it wasn't mean or mean-spirited or anything. It was kids being kids, right? So we were just horsing around and say, well, I want to hang out with you. Well, he has all of his friends, doesn't necessarily want to do that. And I'm looking back on it now, it's actually, that was probably the best thing that ever happened because he at least found a positive way to keep me occupied, which is something that I fell in love with afterwards.
Right.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Ever since. Do you know how old you were when you first did your first actual show for not family, for like real people?
I would think I was, the first big one was, I think I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow. Is that long you were practicing your art?
Oh, yeah. I mean, from a performance perspective, I was always doing like the small little backyard things and messing around that way. But the first one where I kind of had that initial, like, I'm starting to make it kind of thing was, I was in university and I was bartending. And I was just messing around with a deck of cards behind the bar, and an entertainer came in, and he was a hypnotist. And as he was getting ready for his show, he was watching me mess around with some cards, and then by the end of 15 or 20 minutes, he said he had never seen anybody that could move cards like that because he's around entertainers all the time.
Wow.
And from that perspective, he looked at it, and then he just said, what would you think about actually going out and opening for me and doing some gigs? And I thought that would be great.
See how it happens?
And it was literally just sitting around at Algoma University and bartending to that and just kind of keeping it in the back of my mind because I was always interested in it anyway. So, and then from that point forward, I was with Metropolis Management, and they just kind of took me around, and I got.
You got an agent, like a management team.
Pretty much, yeah. And
so cool.
And it was the beauty of being able to travel with the management team, which was the best because they taught me about show business, which was a big thing.
Wow. Yeah. And now you're at the point where you are developing shows. Now you've performed other shows. The Placebo Effect is your current show.
Yes.
But you've done other full. Like, how long was your average show? 45 minutes, an hour? Depends, I guess, what they want to book you for, right?
Yeah, typically if it was for a function, it would be 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
The Placebo Effect, when I ran it 4 or 5 years ago, was it was 2 45-minute segments with an intermission. So I tried to do the full evening of Illusion, which was, as you know, it's a lot of work.
It is
that type of thing.
So this has been where we are now with the Placebo Effect. Has it been morphing itself over the last 4 years, changing shape
every day?
And the script changes and the approach changes.
Yeah, and the feel.
Because you're trying different things, right?
Yeah, trying to get a different feel and different, or maintaining a feel but different approach, so that when the audience comes back, they get to see something new every night.
And isn't that the great thing about a Fringe festival? Because it's a lot of this stuff is works in progress.
Yes.
And audiences are going expecting to see either things that are, still not fully formed yet. But your show is pretty much, this is a done deal, right?
It is.
This isn't really a work in progress other than the fact that you tweak it now and then.
Right, and this one is more of I'm working on a lot of new material that we can actually keep things fresh and new, and I'm trying some new things. So even the audience that saw the show before is going to get to see a lot of new material.
And so when we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit about how the show has changed over the years, because you've sort of shifted from calling yourself a sort of magician illusionist to now getting into this mentalist thing, which is such a cool angle. So we'll come back with more Ryan McFarling talking about his Fringe show right after this quick break. We'll be back with more with Luann and Tim right after this. So when we come back, we'll get back. Ryan, the placebo effect is an example of how you've taken your magic.
Yeah.
What do you call it? How do you refer to what you do?
In essence, the magic is always there. I know when we talk about it, I get that question a lot. Well, it's magic, but is it magic or is it tricks? Is it this? Is it the magic? Is that feeling that you get when, and it's unique to that genre of entertainment that you that kind of moment where everything changes for just a second and you say, everything I knew to be true, that doesn't make sense. So how did that happen? That momentary excitement is unique to magic and illusion. So keeping that is, it goes hand in hand with the idea of, magicians never telling their secrets and that type of thing. I like to say it a bit different, where magicians essentially guard an empty safe, right? Because that's the magic.
I like that.
And I didn't come up with that, but that was that through all my studies.
Well, whoever did was very clever.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Magicians guarding an empty safe, because that magic and illusion, it's, if you know exactly how it's done, for example, because I get that question a lot where people will say, I want to know how the trick is done, but at the same time, I don't want to ask you. Mm-hmm. And that thing that pulls you back, that says, I don't want to ask you, is it's essentially yourself protecting the magic. Mm-hmm. Because the moment you know how I did it, or the moment you know how something works, per se, you can never experience it the same way ever again.
Right.
Because then it's something else. Then it's
because
juggling.
The magic is gone.
Because the magic's gone. You let it out.
The magic is gone.
Right? So that's why...
Hang on to the magic, people. Hang on to the magic.
Well, that's exactly...
Now, now the mentalist aspect of it, this is, I find, very interesting, because this is more about psychology.
Yes.
So, and you've been doing a lot of studying now about how people's brains work, how we're sort of wired, how we're hardwired, and what responses are normal, or that you know what I mean?
Yeah, predictable, normal.
You've been working with that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And that makes it so, I remember watching Kreskin on, did you ever watch him?
I've studied a lot of his stuff.
Holy smokes, when I was a kid, I would come home from school and watch Kreskin's show and was blown away. And he was like, wore the dark horn-rimmed glasses and stuff, and he was always reading the audience's minds and stuff. I was just blown away by that. And that's very much sort of what you're doing now, how you're using the audience's minds and what they think and incorporating that into the show, right?
Yes. The idea with the mentalism side was when I was looking at all the different styles of magic and illusion and what I like to perform and what I found myself continually gravitating towards, it wasn't prop-based magic tricks. It wasn't the big glittery boxes and all of that. They're great for specific types of shows, but it's not the type of show that fits my personality. Yeah. So what I like to do instead was I liked boiling down what it was that I loved about why I was performing magic. So things like the reaction when you see somebody's eyes light up, or they really have no idea how you did something. I didn't want that to be based on a prop that I was holding in my hand that nobody could look at, or you had to put it away as soon as you were done because nobody was allowed to look at it. That part always bothered me. I loved the look of being able to just talk to somebody and just through wordplay, for example, just have something and then they just go, wow, and it blows them away.
That's always been one of your strengths too, is the close-up stuff, dealing really one-on-one with people. Yeah. I've seen you work on trains, I've seen you work restaurants, I've seen you work rooms where you just wander around one-on-one to small groups of people, and they're always enthralled. Can you enthrall me right now, Ryan? I love my job because I get free magic twice in 1 week.
So this is something. It's a work in progress. So I made some notes for myself. Aren't we all? So with these, of course, all the cards are different on one side. They're the same on the other.
Yes.
That's the easy bit. So Tim, I'm going to have you take any card you like. Your choice.
I can just grab one?
Yep.
Do I take it right out, Ryan?
Yeah, take it out. Show everybody at home. Show.
Okay.
The whole staff
Don't look,
here.
Ryan.
I've seen the trick before, but it's okay.
I've seen the trick. Aren't you funny? I've seen the trick before. Okay, I know my card.
Okay, so if I can see the card here, so if we're going to use this one here, and just having that one go into the middle of the deck, that's the easy part. So here's the actual magic part.
Okay.
What? That's not it. That's misdirection, Tim. See, what's happening is this.
What?
See, that's not it, but maybe it's, well.
What's that? What's that say?
This one, look in your pocket.
Whose pocket?
Maybe, no, that's...
My pocket?
You should probably take a look.
There's nothing in my pocket, Ryan.
No? Oh, that must have been look in my pocket. See, because what if, well, wouldn't that be amazing?
If that were...
Well...
Look on the table. What's going on? But that was the card that says look in your pocket.
Well, take a look, because that's, what if we...
Look in my hand. Wait a minute, things are changing as I... Wait a minute, Ryan, look in my hand. Where am I looking?
See,
You're freaking me out.
That must make sense then, because, well, that's why this one would be here.
You did not just do that! You're the devil!
You know, it's... I get that a lot, too, actually.
God, I'm like goosebumps all over me. Those cards changed in front of my very eyes. I don't want to go away in 1 minute. I want to stay longer with my friend Ryan McFarling and make him do more magic. Can you do something else?
Sure. See, why don't we do this here? I'm going to get a couple of... Why don't we do this? Here,
Okay, do whatever you want.
Take anything you like. See, Tim, take
What,
anyone.
again?
Yes,
I want that one.
Here, we'll get rid of this one here because that'll
My
be
three of
distracting.
diamonds, yeah.
Yeah, so show everybody else that one will...
Oh, this is a good card. You're never going to be able to do any magic with this because it's already... Okay. What?
Okay. So here, I'll take this one. Now,
Okay.
now this is where, if you wouldn't mind, hold out your left hand for
That's
me.
this one.
Right. So
That's this one.
I'm going to see what
You said left, and then you said right. Which one do you want?
Correct.
Left.
Right.
Right. What?
Correct.
Left.
Sure. Okay, so we're going to do this.
Who's on first? What?
I'm going to say that's not the trick.
Okay.
So that was juggling.
Okay.
See, the trick is with the Jack of Clubs. Here, go ahead and put your other hand right on top, just like this. So next step is if I use the Queen of Hearts.
Luann's here. He's a freak, Luann.
If I use the Queen of Hearts, here's the best part. With this one, if you keep an eye on it, because your card, well, if we just take one thing like this, it actually jumps back over here.
No! 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 No!
Go ahead and turn your...
No! No! It was in my hand! Nothing changed! I don't understand! I love you, Ryan McFarling! When is your show?
Let's see here. Well, I'm performing for the Fringe Festival, and
Yes.
it's going to be at the Windsor Park.
That's where I'm performing too.
Correct. So we are taking over that venue for 6 days
You,
total.
me, and
but-
Mr. Dewey, not from Facts of Life, from Saved by the Bell. I gotta
Correct.
go.
Yes, so we have Friday, 7 p.m.,
Yes?
Saturday, 5:30,
Yes?
Sunday, 7 p.m.
Good.
at the Windsor Park.
Yes.
And tickets are $12.
Yes.
And it's a very intimate venue, so there's about 80 seats,
Okay.
and you're going to be no more than 8 rows back.
Beautiful. If you need more information, go to the website, Fringe North International Theater Festival, and check out, you got to see Ryan McFarling in action. You just saw it here. It's magic. It's beautiful. I love you, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got to get Luann back on to say goodbye.
All right.
We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim coming up next.
It's a real shame that you didn't have any fun.
I know. Luann,
Ryan
I'm going to miss
McFarling.
you.
Oh, thank you so
Have a
much.
wonderful vacation.
I will. I'm
We'll
going to
see-
come back rested and fresh.
We'll just come back rested. Fresh is asking too much. I'll miss you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back tomorrow with Riley here on Mornings with Luann and Tim and Riley.
Have fun.
Yes, and enjoy. We'll see you in 10 days.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.